Critics accused Aldine of politicizing a tragedy and warned him this could be career suicide. Yet Aldine had faced backlash before. After the "try that in a small town" controversy, he had learned to walk the fine line between patriotism and provocation. But this felt different. It was personal. Charlie had defended him when most had turned away. When corporate media tried to bury Aldine's song, Charlie used every platform to push it back to the top. When Aldine was criticized for his lyrics, Charlie called him the last true outlaw in country music. To Aldine, this wasn't about politics, it was about loyalty. In an Instagram live soon after, he doubled down, "Say what you want about Charlie," but he didn't hide behind PR. He believed in America, in freedom, standing tall when the mob came. I respected that. Still do. This wasn't just a tribute, it was a warning. A warning that country music could no longer stay silent. Charlie Kirk's death had become a test, and Aldine had just drawn his line in the sand. Meanwhile, Dolly Parton responded in a way only she could, graceful, heartfelt, and entirely unexpected. 2 days after the announcement, Dolly shared a simple message: "In times of great division, I choose to pray for peace. May all hearts find comfort and understanding, no matter where they stood." She didn't mention Charlie by name or bring politics into it. Just a plea for unity and peace. But the internet wasn't satisfied. Some praised her for rising above the noise, others accused her of evading the moment. Conservative fans, many who admired both Dolly and Charlie, flooded her post with frustration. "Why won't you honor him? Has Dolly gone woke? Charlie loved your music, why not say his name?" Those close to Dolly knew she had always walked a tightrope. She never sought to spark political fires, even when pressed. Whether it was her stance on climate change or her views on faith and freedom, Dolly consistently chose unity over division. Yet, in today's charged climate, silence wasn't neutrality, it was read as a statement. Behind closed doors, Dolly was said to be heartbroken, not over Charlie himself, but over what his death had done to the country music family. She felt this was pulling people apart when they should be coming together, an Opry insider shared. She didn't want to add fuel to the fire, but in today's world, not choosing a side was a choice in itself. Even Dolly's silence became its own thunder. Morgan Wallen's response surprised even his closest fans. On the morning news broke, he posted a brief, unfiltered video. No caption, no polish, just Morgan, eyes red, voice low, alone in a hotel room. "I didn't know Charlie like some folks did," he said quietly, "but I watched him more than people think. And whether you liked him or hated him, he made you think. He made me think." After a pause, Morgan shared something unexpected. "When I was at my lowest, cancelled, dropped, I listened to Charlie on his podcast. He said, 'People make mistakes, but if we kill every man who stumbles, we'll have no men left standing.' That stuck with me. I never forgot it." The clip lasted only 45 seconds, but it opened a rare window into Morgan's personal struggles, the pain of exile, the guilt of being that guy, and the unexpected comfort he found in Charlie's unapologetic worldview. The post went viral, over 4 million views in 12 hours, then suddenly disappeared. Morgan deleted the video, wiped his stories, and went silent. Fans were divided, some thought he'd bowed to pressure, others believed it was a raw, personal moment too intimate to keep online. But the message was clear, it was unpolished, unfiltered, and deeply human, rare in today's carefully managed celebrity landscape. For nearly a week, Dolly stayed silent. And that silence spoke volumes. At 79, Dolly is more than a country legend, she's a cultural beacon, beloved across political lines. Known for humility, faith, and avoidance of controversy, fans wondered if she'd say anything about Charlie at all. When she finally did, it was in a handwritten letter posted on Instagram, no publicist, no press release, just ink on paper. "I didn't know Charlie personally, and I don't pretend to understand everything he believed," she wrote. But I believe every person is more than their loudest opinion. Every soul matters to God. I pray his family finds peace in this heartbreak. I hope everyone takes a moment to hush the noise, turn down the arguing, and remember that we're all here for a short while. The letter received over 2 million likes in 24 hours, but backlash followed swiftly from all sides. Conservatives called her too soft, too vague. Progressives accused her of legitimizing someone they saw as dangerous. In the middle were her true fans. People who remembered Dolly singing gospel hymns long before culture wars made headlines. What made Dolly's statement so powerful wasn't just what she said, it was what she didn't say. She declined to pick sides, condemn, or celebrate. She offered a moment of shared humanity amid rage. Behind the scenes, a new story surfaced. Dolly had privately reached out to one of Charlie's closest Nashville friends, an unnamed musician connected to both the Opry and Turning Point USA. Dolly's simple question, "How's his mama doing?" That quiet act of kindness wasn't publicized, wasn't monetized, but it was perhaps the most Dolly thing of all. While some artists unleashed fiery statements or political manifestos, Dolly comforted quietly and let the world argue without her. This moment reminded the industry that grace is louder than outrage. But even Dolly's grace couldn't prepare the community for what followed. Charlie Kirk's death had ignited a firestorm inside the Grand Ole Opry itself. A divide that had simmered in silence for years. Jason Aldine's tribute wasn't just a post, it was a spark that lit a cultural inferno. After Aldine's initial tribute, he became the target of a fierce backlash. What fans saw as loyalty, critics viewed as enabling division. Social media erupted. Kirk's most controversial statements circulated widely. Hashtags like #CancelAldine trended. Streaming platforms temporarily removed his songs from country patriot playlists. Booking agents canceled shows amid protest fears. Sponsors quietly distanced themselves. It was an avalanche. Nashville felt the tremors deeply. But Aldine pushed back, calm, steady, unwavering. In a rare TV interview, he said, "I love music, not politics. But when someone stands with you, admits their faults, or says what others won't, sometimes you stand with them." Charlie had his rough edges, Aldine admitted, but he never backed down from a fight. The room went quiet. The progressive-leaning host nodded, processing the moment's weight. The statement made headlines worldwide. Some praised Aldine's courage, others called it reckless. Within Nashville's inner circles, the backlash was brutal. Label execs urged artists to distance themselves immediately. Some peers unfollowed Aldine, cut contact. Veteran songwriters whispered that Aldine had broken an unwritten rule by refusing to apologize or retreat. Still, Aldine stood firm. He launched a Heartland tour through rural America, where fans still sang along to "Fly Over States" and felt drowned out by urban critics. At one Midwestern radio show, a caller asked why he kept performing despite the backlash. He paused, looked out a window, and said, "Because this music, your music, can't stop. People deserve to be seen, not silenced." Every ticket sold, every anthem sung with hands raised wasn't politics, it was affirmation, belonging, identity. Meanwhile, Dolly's peaceful prayer and Willie Nelson's measured words began to feel like distant echoes next to Aldine's roaring declaration. The internet ignited with debates. Aldine was hailed as brave by some, a moral failure by others. For every critical tweet, dozens of fans thanked him for speaking for the unseen. Weeks later, Aldine returned to the studio, recording a stripped-down version of "When She Says Baby," with a spoken-word intro. "This song is for every person judged for loving someone no one understands. Speak your truth."